water is life. Without water, we cease to live. But spiritually, it's the lifeline. It's the artery to our being, to who we are as river people. And so it's been really challenging when the river has been hurting, trying to keep itself alive while also really carrying all of us along. And so, I'm just glad that we're able to reciprocate that and really making change in the dam removal process.
The Klamath River is really unique. So the Klamath River kind of starts in this high desert area. It goes through the Cascade Mountains, flows through the Klamath Mountains, through the coastal range, and then out into the Pacific Ocean. So the geography is extreme. Whether it's direct or indirect, everything in this basin has a really important connection to this river. Maybe up there, see right on where it, yeah, see where there's like a little shear? Yeah. We're here at the mouth of the Klamath River, and you can see the Klamath River estuary behind us, and then the entire Klamath Basin is upstream of here. So every drop of water that falls into the Klamath Basin eventually makes its way out and flows into the Pacific Ocean right here. This is, an extremely important place for the basin. This is where the river starts or ends, kind of depending on your perspective. When dams go in and you start moving water around and trying to store water for agriculture and trying to push water through the system to make hydropower, that hydrograph changes. All the organisms that evolved with that, including humans, are going to suffer, and that's what's happened. Things were thrown out of balance really significantly.
Our goal and our mission is to remove these dams and restore these lands. From the downriver end to the upriver end, those dams are Iron Gate Dam, Copco number 2, Copco number 1, and the J.C. Boyle Dam in Oregon. They were constructed between roughly the early 1920s and the 1960s, and so they are very much nearing the end of their serviceable life. I tend to think of this as a resiliency project, and by that, I really mean that what I think we are setting out to do here is to create conditions that are favorable to allow these amazing species of fish to regain a toehold in a region of the world that we know they previously occupied in simply astounding numbers. We want to ensure that the tributaries to the Klamath River are connected to the river so that we ensure that that good, clean, cold water makes its way to the main stem of the river, and also so that migrating species, salmon, steelhead, other species that utilize those tributaries can easily access that good habitat. We want to let the Klamath River take a little bit of time, frankly, to figure out where it wants to be after having been constrained through the hydroelectric reach for the last 100 years.
I remember as a kid, there'd be days where we get to leave school early to go help my dad pack out fish. And I just remember watching while they were dip netting next to this really treacherous waterfall. You can see then fish jumping on top of each other trying to compete for this fishing holes. Whereas now it's you don't see any fish and we're surprised if we pull out anything. The fish kill happened in 2002. I think there's upward of 50,000 adult Chinook dead. It really came to a head then. And actually, that jump-started my dad's advocacy, going to these hearings.
Where's this trail leading us as a people, as a unit of one? Where are we going from here? Are we going to stand by and let this happen? I don't think so. This is the first step of many. And again, this is our future. This is our future. We need to stand up. Thank you.
he knew like I need my kids there, because a big part of the messaging is my kids have to experience this. My kids have to carry on these traditions, and at this rate, they're not going to be able to.
My name's Charlie Reed, and I came down here because we need fish to live.
The intergenerational fight, it's so much more than words can kind of capture, but for me, it's like my daughter gets to live in a world where she knows nothing but dam removal restoration opposed to dam removal advocacy. We now have the opportunity to spend more time fishing, swimming, interacting with the river, managing the land, rather than talking about dam removal.
It took 150 years. It took a long time to degrade the river to the point that it's at now. So we don't expect to fix it overnight. We know it's going to take a long time. It's going to take generations, but that's okay. That's who we are as tribal people. Whether it's through our ceremonies or our management practices, our cultural burning, we've always managed the landscape in a balanced way. And that's all we're doing. We're just exercising that innate feeling or gift that's within us to try and restore balance.